Roger Tuk from MD Steel, thank you very much for joining me today in sort of the second round of MWC interviews. We did a series last year, seemed to be really interesting to our members, and so we thought we'd take this on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so as an executive of WCA, we thought it would be neat to give MWC members a chance to sort of get to know a little bit more about WCA and the executive members and that type of thing. So I'll ask you a few sort of serious questions, and then we'll jump to a few sort of more relaxed questions, a little more fun on that respect. So, all right. So why don't we start off by you giving us a little bit of an idea of how you actually got into construction in the first place?
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it's actually kind of, well, I think it's a little bit of an interesting story. I mean, out of school, I didn't really have too many thoughts exactly what I wanted to do, and I finally decided to try and go to university for computer science. And so I had signed up U of M, went for my first year computer science, and then sort of found out I really didn't have the knack for computer programming. I realized it wasn't as easy as playing the video games that I like to play. So after that, I really didn't really have a clear path, but my mom she had gone to a tarot card reader years ago, and she had told her that she was going to have an engineer in the family. So for some reason that stuck with me, and so I figured, well, engineering sounds kind of interesting. So I had applied to both the faculty and at Red River as well. And I didn't get accepted that year into the U of M engineering program, but I did at Red River, so I decided to go there. And once I was in there, and as the course rolled on, I found out that I really loved it, so I was really happy with my choice. And that's kind of how I got into construction.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. All about the tarot cards, eh?
Yeah. Maybe I'm unhappy.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit, you work for MD Steel now.
Yeah.
And what's your position there?
I am our chief estimator. So I look after, I like to say I look after estimating department, but I am the department primarily. Yeah, I look after all our estimating duties, and when I need help, we got a few project managers in the office, and I'll pull them in, and they'll assist me with the estimates as needed. So that's basically what I do.
And how did you end up at MD Steel, and how long have you been there?
I've been here for 12, maybe going on 13 years now. So out of school, my first job was with Ernst Hanch Construction. So I was there for about 6 years, and then I made a move. A friend of mine, a colleague, he wanted to branch out from being sort of a concrete contractor to a general contractor. So he had brought me on, and I was Sear Construction. And so I worked with him for about 6 years, and although I enjoyed it, same thing, it just kind of wasn't, I didn't see myself being there forever. So I made the move over here to MD Steel Construction, and actually I've never looked back since I've been on here. So I originally got hired on as a project manager, and as time went on, I started taking on more of the estimating responsibilities, and went from our senior estimator to our chief estimator.
Cool. So what aspects of construction industry, or what MD Steel does, do you love the most?
Well, when you talk about the industry and everything like that, of course I love the people. It's very important to me to be working with people that I respect and admire, and we have a good working relationship. So I really do get that here at MD Steel. We've got a small, sort of close, family. So I really enjoy that. As far as the work goes, we do a lot of bridge work, but we also do a lot of sort of like other infrastructure work. With Manitoba Hydro, CP Rail, CN Rail, Health Science Center, doing some work there. So It's just sort of the complexity of the jobs is what's really interesting. And I find with, we do a lot of bridge work. So when it comes to the bridge work, there are a lot of complexities to the work. And when you're flying up 140-foot long girder, 40 feet up in the air, and you're landing it on the bearings, and you're doing so within like 2 millimeters worth of tolerance, it's pretty amazing, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun to be part of, and then of course the projects that you're working on sort of have a lasting legacy, in the community. So I really like that aspect of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw your pictures on LinkedIn with some of the beams. I thought, oh, that was great.
yeah.
What do you think the biggest challenge that construction faces right now?
To be honest with you, I was thinking about this a little bit, and I think one of the biggest challenges we have is like we're becoming a very fast-paced industry. People want things built quicker, faster. They want to get into them, and so the industry is pushing us harder as contractors to accomplish that. Things are also getting more technical. I've been watching the quality control aspect of the job grow in complexity and over the years, and more so now than ever. When you look at your safety requirements and all that kind of stuff, there's more things piled on top of more things, but everything is expected to be done quicker. And it seems like it's almost because we're a very competitive market, resources are also getting thinner. So I think for myself, I think one of the biggest challenges is just to be able to sustain that, to be able to ensure that you're pushing out that work to the standards that your clients are expecting, or that you're expecting of yourself, but still have enough resources and time and everything like that to be able to put it together. So to me, that's one of our biggest challenges. I almost feel like there'll be a tipping point, a boiling point sometime soon, where there has to be a little bit of a pushback to say, we need the additional resources to ensure that we're doing it. We need the additional time to make sure that it's being done properly. A 12-month schedule 10 years ago was 10 months worth of schedule 5 years ago. Now they want it in 8. And it just seems to be getting tighter and tighter and tighter, yet, more is expected of you. So I think to me, that's one of the biggest challenges of that.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Now you talked a little bit about resources, so I'm gonna segue that into, we look at the statistics for women in construction and especially the skilled trades. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're still under, I think 6%. I think we're still under 5% for women in the trades. Mm-hmm. What do you think has to change, or does something have to change in order to get more women to be involved in that side of the industry?
Well, I think one of the challenges we have, and this isn't necessarily just attracting more women into the industry, but just attracting people in general. It's sort of an old adage that you got into the trades because you couldn't do anything else. You're not as smart as everybody else, or something like that, which is extremely unfair and untrue in the industry. Your seasoned carpenter, they're very highly technical. When we're looking for solutions to a lot of the problems as project managers or as estimators, we're going to the carpenters and the laborers and the superintendents we have in the field, and relying on their experiences, their knowledge, and their know-how to sort of figure out how it is we can get this thing built. They have to be aware of the standards, of the different codes that we're building to, the standards, tolerances, all that kind of stuff. And it can be a very mentally challenging as well as physically challenging job in the field. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think you just need muscle. Go out there, as long as you have muscle, you'll do good. That's not really the way that it is. And so it's kind of breaking that barrier with people to let them understand that it is a very rewarding industry to be part of. And you're just not going to have a job for life. You can build a career and be well respected within your community and with others, and build something that you, when you eventually get to walk away from it, you can be really proud of what you've accomplished. So I think that's part of it. So as long as you can start to break down those barriers, then you start attracting a whole bunch of different people. Some huge benefits to construction, working in the construction industry. You get to work outside. When it's beautiful days like today, where it's like almost 30 degrees or whatever it is. You know, it can be hard to work in, but it also can be nice to be working in those kinds of conditions. It's always changing. You get to see, you know, very interesting things done, very interesting things built. Like I said, then you have that pride of driving by that project that you worked on and say, I was a part of that. I helped build that, and move on. So I think it's those types of things you got to impress upon people, that you can get out of a job or a career in the trades or in the industry.
So if your daughter came to you and said, Dad, I love watching the construction sites. I think I'm really good with working with my hands. I want to be a carpenter. What piece of advice would you give her?
Okay, well, advice would be help them get signed up. And get them, you know, do my best to get them a job. I might have a little bit of pull here and there. But if they showed that interest, I would encourage them and do whatever I can to help foster that interest that they have. You know, I have bugged them. I do have two daughters. You know, one's 18 right now and one's 16. They have other interests. One wants to go into medicine and the other one wants to go into business or accounting. So that's kind of their directions. But no, I would definitely, like, I do try and get them to help me around the house sometimes. Kind of hard, that's kind of tough, but most things I like to just leave me alone, let me do it myself. I'm kind of that kind of guy too, but I do love it when they're helping. Like I was so proud of my one daughter. She went and bought a couple of things from IKEA, kicked me out of the room, and she put them together herself.
Awesome.
And to me, it was one of those proud moments. Like, oh great, you didn't need me. And I was glad she didn't have to call me, because, you know, putting that stuff together isn't always funny either.
Yeah. Well, and construction always needs business and accounting people too. So there's hope. There's a little bit of hope there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll switch gears a little bit, and I'll ask you some sort of like rapid fire questions, just to get to know you a little bit better and who you are and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So, favorite book or movie?
I don't do a lot of reading, but I do watch a lot of movies. I guess one of the more recent movies that I watched was Greenland. It was, I guess, streamed on Amazon Prime. So I watched that. It's Gerard Butler that was in it. It was basically about an asteroid that's on its way to devastate the Earth. And the underground bunker in Greenland, and they try and make their way there.
Okay.
So
good.
That's been one of my favorite movies as of recent.
Okay. Favorite streaming service? You mentioned Amazon Prime. Do you have more than one streaming service?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think in the past year I've signed on to every single one. Crave, Amazon, Apple TV, and Netflix.
Okay. All right. Well, that should give you a plethora of stuff to look at.
I've watched their catalog of movies and shows twice over already.
Yeah. Best summer vacation?
Summer vacation, I love going out to where my mom lives in southern Alberta. She lives close to Lethbridge, and we spend time up in the mountains around Waterton Lakes National Park. So going up there is always my favorite summer vacation spot.
Okay, what about winter vacation?
Dominican Republic. And I'm hoping I can get down there again soon. We've taken several vacations there over the years, and one of my favorite spots, the last spot we went to, Sosua Beach, Dominican Republic. It was beautiful, and I want to get back there. So bad.
Okay, and so the favorite summer beverage or warm beverage when you're sitting in the beach in the Dominican?
Dominican, you know, they have a lot of fruity drinks, so I like drinking that. I like the local beer that they have. I mean, I can't tell you offhand what it is, but But sitting around at the poolside and whatever, I like their cervezas.
Excellent. Good. Are you dog or cat person, or neither?
Dog.
Dog. Okay.
We've got 2 dogs at home.
Okay.
Some people will say they don't classify as dogs, they're just little things. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but we have 2 of them. I love cats too, but I'm allergic, so I had to stay away from them, unfortunately.
Okay. Hockey or football?
Hockey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you enjoy doing in your spare time when you get spare time?
You know what, during the week, just unwind a little bit. Nights like tonight, sit out in the backyard, just kind of doing a little bit of yard work or whatever, taking the dogs for a walk, just keeping it simple. There hasn't been a heck of a lot of other things to do this last year, so I mean, that's become my favorite thing. Just kind of relax and take little walks and stuff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So over the last 15 months now of, very restrictive lifestyles.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself?
I'm kind of the type of person that will go with the flow. So, of course, 2 daughters, they've been very active. We've gotten them into summer and winter sports and encouraged them to do things. So always taking them there, which I love doing, love being part of. I got into coaching. I got involved in the local community center board as well and things like that. So I ended up becoming very busy and without even a lot of fun. And so in this last year, a lot of that has been able to slow down. So I got to be careful to just not sit on the couch. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of nights I just do that. But all in all, I kind of like that life is a little less stressful in that way. And that, it kind of gives you an opportunity to, spend time on things that really matter to you, which, at home for me is family and everything like that. And I am still involved in the community center board, and we have to do meetings like this when we Zoom all the time and whatnot. And, but just kind of, taking a step back and kind of enjoying life a little more almost quality versus quantity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Roger, so much.
You're welcome.
Love chatting with you, and I look forward to the next couple years of WCA Executive with you. Yeah. Along for the ride.
Yes. No, appreciate it. Thank you.